some decent looks from beyond the three-point line. And you look at the numbers for Kevin, you know, since that WSU game, shooting less than 30%. So on paper, he's a kid that doesn't shoot a great percentage. But you see here, you leave him open behind the arc, particularly early in the game where he can get things going. It's going to make for a long afternoon for you on the defensive end.
So the Air Force turned it over again. Carter just lost the handle. May have been deflected away by Hart. But that's another turnover. They led the game 19-17. Gonzaga on a 5-0 run. And now a chance to add to that. The Air Force now with 8 turnovers. Ball inside loose, goes out of bounds, stays with Gonzaga, 22 on the shot clock.
You see GU trying to get Rob going. Right on that catch, you got a crowd of 3 around him. Tried dropping it off to Spangler, and Rob just having a tough time on the offensive end. First 7 games of the year, over 16 points. You look at him the last 3, 7, and he's really struggled from the field and isn't all that aggressive looking out for his shots. Less than about 5 shots per game. He needs to be a little more aggressive on his touches.
He'll get it going.
Oh, there's no doubt. He's still having a tremendous senior year, but I think sometimes you can get yourself in a funk, and the best way to get out of those funks is just to be aggressive. And I think right now he's playing just a little too passively on the offensive end, particularly on his touches. He needs to look to go to work. You can live with some mistakes if your players being aggressive, but when they're being passive, it's tough to deal with as a coach.
Brookheist too hard off the glass, and a foul called inside. Is this on Gonzaga? It's on Sacre. So it appeared to me that Rob Sacre just fouled Ryan Spangler. If he fouled anybody, he fouled his own teammate.
Oh, let's see if we can take a look.
I mean, that's what I saw, Richard. But what do I know? I'm sitting way over here.
Whatever you say, bud. Whatever you say.
I'm calling it the way I see it here.
Well, let's take a look at the replay here. On the drive. Good defense from Mike Hart. Shot goes up.
No call. No call.
And maybe a little push in the back there. You know, sometimes, you know, there isn't a lot of force or really intent, but, you know, an official on a bang-bang play sees a hand on the back or a forearm on the back on a rebound. For a lot of officials, that's just an automatic call. And I think Rob, being as strong as he is.
Now, what do we got here? Oh, it was a 1-on-1 call. They missed the front end, and now they're going back the other way. That was the 17th foul on Gonzaga. So they got it right here. It should be pointed out that Rob Sacre, playing with a wrap on his right hand, hurt his thumb this week at practice. So that's a shooting hand.
Yep.
We shouldn't expect him to shoot all that well tonight.
No, but he can still go to work offensive rebounds. But hey, let's credit the kid. He's done an excellent job. Continues to rebound, 7 rebounds, nearly 3 blocks per game over the last 3 games. So it's not like with his offense struggling that he's not bringing other things to the table.
Pangos into the paint. Pangos having a big game for Gonzaga now with 14.
Saw right there on the catch. Defense closes out aggressively. Excellent read from Kevin. Just puts the ball on the floor. Quick 2 dribbles. Gets himself to the lane. Let's take a look. Nice kick out from Rob. 2 dribbles. Little hop step, gets fouled. And he's starting to finish a lot better in that painted area. We saw early in the year struggled getting used to the size, speed, athleticism at this level. But as he's gotten more comfortable, he's starting to become more dynamic on the offensive end. You saw it right there. That's an excellent finish in traffic.
What I love about Kevin Pangos, he's expressionless. You can't tell if he's having a good game, bad game. If he's given up a 3 or just hit a 3.
I think
you can't tell. He's so composed out there, Richard.
Yeah, very businesslike in his approach. There's no doubt about that.
Gonzaga on an 8-0 run. They lead it by 6.
And that's big coming from your point guard, because this is going to be, in a lot of ways, his program going forward as he continues to get better. Your point guard sets the tone, and you love the attitude that he brings on both ends.
8 on the shot clock. Here's Fletcher left open for 3, and he hit another one. Fletcher now 2 of 3. He's got 8 points.
Fletcher guy coming in struggling, only 6 of 21 from the 3-point line, but if you give him those wide open looks, he's going to make you pay. Poor defense from GU, just getting lost against that Princeton offense.
Pangos driving, got it to Hart. Foul before the shot.
How about the pass?
Beautiful. He's going to be a star here. Probably stating the obvious, but 3:16 to play first half. Gonzaga leading it by 3. I think I've said it before. I know I get kind of repetitive over these years. I love pizza.
Who doesn't, though?
Yeah, I know. It's like
anytime,
it's the great American
breakfast,
food.
dinner, it doesn't really a snack.
I am certain, I can't remember the day, but I was in a doctor's office at some point in my life, and I'm certain I saw a pizza on the wall saying that it contained all 5 basic food groups.
Well,
think about it. You can make a pizza.
Technically, tomato paste is a vegetable now. So
exactly.
Yeah, you're getting your balanced meal. And
so I don't know. There's this movement against pizza out there, Richard. I just don't get it. It's a great American health food.
I support you in any efforts you have as far as trying to protect the sanctity of pizza. I got your back, buddy.
Thanks. The word on Michael Lyons, a high ankle sprain. His return is doubtful.
That's good news.
Those buggers hurt. Ask Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, I mean, it's good news if you look at it. Initially, we thought it was
structural damage. Yes.
Left knee, maybe some ligament damage. Yeah, obviously, high ankle sprain. You can miss quite a bit of time, but at least you know he's going to, at some point this season, be able to come back. And
yeah,
I think if you're the coaching staff, when you hear that news, you're going to have a big sigh of relief knowing that you're going to get him back at some point. The way that injury looked like he was going to be done.
Kevin Pangos now is 17 for Gonzaga. He has scored the last 8 for GU. As we near the 3-minute mark. Still just a 5-point lead for Gonzaga. Here's Stewart. Brookhuis with Dower there. Now Stewart again. Back to Brookhuis. 2-man game here for a moment. Now Fletcher. Stewart up and under. Somehow he got that one to go. Wow. 3-point game.
Good defense, incredible offensive effort right there.
You got to give him H-O and R for that one.
Oh, wow, that's a tough shot. You don't see the scoop shot all that often. It's the second time we've seen that here from Air Force today, though.
Pangos again, that one short. Bell runs down the rebound, but it was deflected away, and Brookhuis with it for Air Force. Now Stewart into the corner. This is Jan. And Air Force with a 3-ball can tie it back up. Stewart gets the roll.
I think that may have been Fletcher there with...
Actually, I'm sorry, that's Fletcher, yes.
With a little isolation, a little mismatch. Rob unable to guard him out there on the perimeter. Nice stop and pop. Fletcher, 3-year starter for these Falcons at the point guard position. Started since day 1 as a freshman. You see that experience right there.
And then the turnover. Zachary tried to go to Dower inside. Here's Jan, 3-ball transition. That one's short. Pangos the rebound. Fletcher with 10 points for Air Force.
Yeah,
He's been the guy since the injury to Lyons.
He and Fitzgerald have been off the charts. Fletcher 4 of 5, Fitzgerald 3 of 3. Those kids are combined 19 points here in the first half.
Dower unable to catch that ball cleanly.
I'm not sure the official.
Yeah, whistle on the floor, but not sure what the issue was with 18 on the shot clock, although Rob Zachary's going out of the game.
Maybe an inadvertent whistle from the official, which allowed Rob to check out of the ball game, but no foul. Just going to keep playing.
Minute 24 to play first half. 18 on the shot clock. A 1-point Gonzaga lead, shooting at 42%. Air Force at 60%. Here's Dower trying to spin. That ball, he did not get called for the double dribble there. Is Spangler up high, and he'll shoot free throws. I love Ryan Spangler. Yeah, he's got Velcro on those hands. I've never seen a ball stick to him like that.
No, he's just got a nose for the ball on both ends of the floor. I think he does a nice job rebounding out of his area, which is something that he'll continue to improve on. But you said it, just excellent hands. You see it offensively on his catches when he looks to pass the basketball. We've seen him knock down a couple jump shots here this year, and he looked awfully confident doing it. It's just a matter of him finding some minutes. You know, this front line is so good for GU that, you know, he's locked in at that 4th post spot. But you know, you've seen Coach Stu now start slowly extend his minutes, try to get him in more often, because you see that he's going to have a really bright future.
Spangler 37 minutes this year, 13 rebounds. I'd love to get another look, though, at the no call on Sam Dower on that double dribble. Didn't look like to me that that ball was deflected by a defender.
You know, from when I first saw it, I thought the defender got a hand on it, but
I didn't see that.
You got eagle eyes, so I'll defer. I'll defer.
Thanks, Richard. Thanks for that backhanded compliment, I think. Under a minute to go, first half. Here's Jan. Here's Fletcher. Payne goes right up on him now. Eight on the shot clock. Fletcher. Pangos trailing. Here's Jan driving. 3 on the clock. Somebody's got to shoot it. They had 3 or 4 opportunities on that possession for open shots and didn't shoot any of them.
Yeah, that's the problem sometimes with this Princeton offense. It's drilled so much into you that you need to be patient, particularly when you're playing a team like GU that you feel you might be overmatched physically. You really want to emphasize, hey, let's get deep into our clock. If we don't have a layup, you know, an easy shot around the rim, we want to make sure they guard. But sometimes you'll give up a great look with 12 seconds on a shot clock that you're better off taking than trying to force something as the shot clock expires. And we saw it right there. You're absolutely right, Greg. 3 or 4 good looks earlier in that possession for Air Force that they didn't take.
Gonzaga playing for 1 here. And nobody shot it at this end either. 1.1 second to play here in the half. Gonzaga leading it by 2. And just gave up an opportunity. So is it the Princeton style offense? Is it the lack of the students here? Is it the fact that this isn't Butler or Arizona or Illinois or Michigan State? A pretty lackluster first half for Gonzaga.
Yeah, I think it's all those things and then some. You know, it's just tough. You know, these are the games as a coach you stress a lot more about this Air Force game than you do about Michigan State, because you got to create your own energy. You have to convince your guys to get up for a game that maybe after the last 3 games they feel like, you know, as a player that it isn't as important a ball game. But really, when you put it into the larger context, every one of these ball games is really important. You can't afford to lose to an Air Force ball club on your home floor when it comes to March. Those committees don't take into account all the things you mentioned.
Gonzaga leading in the rebounding department 12-9, but they're shooting just 38% in that first half. They have a 2-point lead on Air Force. Greg Heister, Richard Fox, we're at half. Come on back. And welcome back. Time for tonight's halftime stats brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino. Can't make the game? Watch it with us. All televised Gonzaga games at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Great prizes, drink specials, and food. Submit your tickets for $10 EPC only at Coeur d'Alene Casino. Gonzaga not shooting it well, although they're shooting it well from behind the 3, or we should say Pangos is.
Yeah.
And Air Force shooting it well.
Well, you look at Pangos, only player to score last 6:35 for GU. Now, despite the significant size advantage for Gonzaga in the paint, only 4 points inside that painted area, 1 of 4 from the field for all 4 of GU's post players. That's Spangler, Zachary, Dower, and Harris. That's not nearly enough touches, not nearly enough looks at the rim for those 4 guys. They need to do a better job of being more aggressive, searching out their opportunities.
And here's an update on Michael Lyons. He leads the team in scoring with 18 points a game. He left at the 17:03 mark in that first half. He will not return. It's being called a high ankle sprain. They're not sure of any structural damage at this point, but we know for sure he will not return. So it's up to Fitzgerald and Fletcher to have a big second half like they did the first half if the Falcons are going to have a chance.
Yeah, played about as well if you're the Falcons as you could have hoped when Lyons went out.
Here's Fletcher driving on Pangos. Fletcher now with a dozen.
It's nice to have your starting point guard be a guy who's entering his 4th year and has started every one of the ball games he's played in while at the academy. You see just poised under pressure and a nice dribble penetration, nice move at the rim.
We've got a 3-second violation on Harris. So Falcon basketball with a chance to take the lead again as we take another look at Fletcher.
Yeah, nice job taking the ball to the rim. Pretty effective despite, you know, only being 6'2", shoots about 60% from the field inside that painted area as he knocks down another layup at the rim. Fletcher now with 14 points, 6 of 8, 4 quick points here in the second half.
And Air Force back out on top. Harris wide open inside. Hart got him the ball. Tied at 30.
Nice look inside from Mike Hart. Aaliyah screaming for the ball, was open there for probably a good 2 seconds.
Violet would have dunked that, by the way.
Violet would have done a lot of different things. We should have had that segment. Now you're going to be reminiscing, missing guys. And
Stewart. That was off the glass.
Yeah, you look at the defensive effort for GU, and as you see the turnover here between the 2 freshmen, Coach Few telling Kevin, pardon me, to slow down, calm down, let's run some offense. But, you look at the defensive effort for GU, Air Force is completely comfortable in what they're running.
And right now, Air Force is playing with more energy.
Yeah, they're playing
on Gonzaga's home floor.